advertisements in the daily newspapers on Monday 21st and Tuesday 22nd April 2025, inviting members of the public to attend public hearings, to make oral submissions or submit memoranda on the bill to amend the Constitution. The advertisements provided for a 2 weeks notice before the commencement of countrywide public participation hearings. The clerk has reported that his office has already received and continues to receive numerous submissions from the public through email addresses provided. Honorable members, I also directed the clerk to organize a Kamkunji where members will be appraised on the modalities and administrative arrangements put in place to facilitate the said public participation exercise. In this regard, honorable members, I wish to inform you that the Kamkunji has been scheduled for next Tuesday, 29th April 2025, at 11 a.m. in the main chamber. This initiative is of critical importance as members will play a central role in spearheading the process within their respective constituencies and counties. The forum will also present an opportunity for members to discuss other matters relating to welfare of members and facilitation of representation and oversight roles of members and the House. I therefore implore upon all of you to attend this important briefing that will ensure a unified understanding and effective coordination as we engage with the public on this exercise. Honorable members, in addition to that, I've also directed all members of the Parliamentary Service Commission to attend the Kamkunji so that if you have any issues, like many of you have been pointing out, on several issues, read your constitution on how to remove constitutional office holders. Order, Kandie, you are getting disorderly. I know you differently. Ulikula nini lunch wewe? Honorable members, the commissioners, you know you have commissioners from this house, 3 of them. Is it 3 or 4? 4 of them. And we have 2 from the other house and 2 non-member commissioners. They will all attend the Kamkunji so that you can ask them any issues to do with staff welfare, members' welfare, your working conditions, and any other issues that you may wish to ask them, except what Kandie is saying. Thank you, honorable members. Go on to the next order.
Order number 8, the Social Protection Bill, National Assembly Bill number 12 of 2025. Second reading, question to be put.
Members on their feet, take your seats. Honorable members, I now put the question at order number 8 that the Social Protection Bill, National Assembly Bill number 12 of 2025 be now read a second time. As members of that opinion say aye. Aye. Will those of the contrary opinion say nay? The ayes have it.
A bill for an act of parliament to provide a framework for the administration of non-contributory social protection interventions, to establish a national board for social protection and for connected purposes.
Next.
Order number 9, the Value Added Tax Amendment Bill, National Assembly Bill number 11 of 2025. Second reading, question to be put.
Order Lelmengit, take a seat. Honorable members, I now put the question at order number 9, which is that the Value Added Tax Amendment Bill, National Assembly Bill number 11 of 2025, be now read a second time. As members of that opinion say aye. Aye. Will those of a contrary opinion say nay? The ayes have it.
A bill for an act of parliament to amend the Value Added Tax Act and for connected purposes. Order number 10, the Treaty Making and Ratification Amendment number 2 Bill, National Assembly Bill number 9 of 2024. Second reading, question to be put.
Order, Ambassador Sigei, take the nearest seat. Do you prefer to be called ambassador or PC? Both. Honorable members, I now put the question at order number 10, which is at the Treaty Making and Ratification Amendment number 2 Bill, National Assembly Bill number 9 of 2024, be now read a second time. As members of that opinion say aye. Aye. Will those of the contrary opinion say nay? The ayes have it.
A bill for an act of parliament to amend the Treaty Making and Ratification Act and for connected purposes. Order number 11, the Kenya National Council for Population and Development Bill, National Assembly Bill number 72 of 2023. Second reading, question to be put.
Order, Minority Leader, take your seat or freeze. Honorable members, I now put the question at order number 11, which is that the Kenya National Council for Population and Development Bill, National Assembly Bill number 72 of 2023, be now read a second time. As members of that opinion say aye. Aye. Will those of the contrary opinion say nay? The ayes have it.
A bill for an act of parliament to provide for the establishment, roles, and functions of the Kenya National Council for Population and Development, for the establishment of the board of the council, and for connected purposes. Order number 12, motion. Consideration of sessional paper number 1 of 2025 on the Kenya foreign policy. Question to be put.
Members on their feet, take your seat. Honorable members, I now put the question at order number 12, which is that this House adopts the report of the Departmental Committee on Defense, Intelligence, and Foreign Relations on its consideration of the sessional paper number 1 of 2025 on the foreign policy of the Republic of Kenya laid on the table of the House on Tuesday, 22nd April 2025, and approves sessional paper number 1 of 2025 on the foreign policy of the Republic of Kenya. As members of that opinion say aye. Aye. Will those of the contrary opinion say nay? The ayes have it.
Order number 13, the County Public Finance Laws Amendment Bill, Senate Bill number 39 of 2023, first reading. A bill for an act of parliament to amend the County Assembly Services Act and the Public Finance Management Act and for connected purposes. Order number 14, the Energy Amendment Bill, Senate Bill number 42 of 2023, first reading. A bill for an act of parliament to amend the Energy Act and to make provision for energy purchase agreements and for connected purposes. Order number 15, the County Government's Additional Allocations Bill, Senate Bill number 1 of 2025, second reading, resumption of debate.
Yes, Honorable Owen Bai.
Thank you, Honorable Speaker. Honorable Speaker, in the spirit of the discussion that we started and looking at the import of this bill for now, as we stand, and the position that you have declared, that we have had a robust discussion and agreements, and that consent has been entered to withdraw the court case. When we come to this order, Honorable Speaker, I would implore you and implore members that we allow the mover to reply on this, so that we can move to the committee of the whole, so that anybody who has issues to raise at the level of the debate can raise those issues at this particular time when you're doing the committee of the whole, so that we can gain time and also expedite, so that we also show goodwill on the matter. Honorable Speaker, I request members, because there is nothing really much to discuss in terms of the county allocation bill, apart from the fact that these are figures, Honorable Speaker. Honorable Speaker, if you allow, then we move that direction. I thank you, Honorable Speaker.
Honorable members, I will allow the House to decide on that issue, and I put the question that at order number 15, the mover be called upon to reply. As many as of that opinion say aye. Aye. Will those of the contrary opinion say nay? Nay. The ayes have it. Mover.
Honorable Speaker, first of all, let me take this opportunity to thank you for your leadership, together with the leadership of the House, in helping us to resolve the issues that surrounded the passing of this bill. Honorable Speaker, in passing this bill, Honorable Speaker, the House has done a very big justice to Kenyans. Honorable Speaker, this bill is going to allocate 42 billion money from donors in form of loans and grants that is going to help Kenyans run programs in health, in water, in sanitation, in agriculture, and these are things that are going to transform and help our people across the country. Honorable Speaker, with those many remarks, Honorable Speaker, I beg to reply.
Honorable members, order. Take the seat. Honorable members, after putting the question at order number 15, we'll go straight to committee of the whole on the same bill as listed at order number 16. Thereafter, then the House will go back to orders number 4. I know Kitayama has a petition. Order number 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7. Then we'll, after that, go back to order number 17. Vicaria, take your seat. Honorable members, I'll now put the question at order number 15, which is that the county government's additional allocations bill, Senate Bill number 1 of 2025, be now read a second time. As many as of that opinion say aye. Will those of the contrary opinion say nay? The ayes have it. Honorable member, okay, next. Hold your horses.
A bill for an act of parliament to provide for the additional allocations to county governments for the year 2024-2025 financial year. The responsibilities of national government and county governments pursuant to such allocations and for connected purposes.
Order 16. Honorable members, before we go to the next order, allow me to acknowledge in the public gallery Evangelical Christian Church School from Moyale Saku constituency in Moyale County, and Little Lambs Academy from Kapseret, not Moyale County, whoever is Marsabit County. Little Lambs Academy, Kapseret from Uasin Gishu. On my behalf and on behalf of the House, we welcome the students and those accompanying them to the House of Parliament. Next order.
Order number 16, Committee of the Whole House.
Honorable members, will you be upstanding?
Honorable members, we are in the Committee of the Whole House to consider the County Government's Additional Allocation Bill, Senate Bill number 1 of 2025.
Clause 3 and 4.
Honorable members, I now propose the question that clause 3 and 4 be part of the bill. Honorable members, I now put the question that clause 3 and 4 be part of the bill. Will as many as of that opinion say aye? Aye. Will as many as of the contrary opinion say nay? The ayes have it.
Clause 5.
Honorable members, I propose the question that clause 5 be part of the bill. Yes, there is a proposed amendment by the Chair Budget.
Honorable Chair, I would like to stand down the amendment, the proposed amendment. This is because the amendment was supposed to remove from the estimates about 523 million, money which was earmarked for construction of 5 county headquarters. Honorable Chair, I have since received an instruction from National Treasury confirming that indeed that money is available and therefore there is no need for the amendment. Honorable Speaker, I stand on the amendment.
Honorable members, I now put the question that clause 5 be part of the bill. Will as many as of that opinion say aye? Aye. Will as many as of the contrary opinion say nay? The ayes have it.
Clauses 6, 7, and 8.
Honorable members, I propose the question that clauses 6, 7, and 8 be part of the bill. Honorable members, I now put the question that clauses 6, 7, and 8 be part of the bill. Will as many as of that opinion say aye? Aye. Will as many as of the contrary opinion say nay? The ayes have it.
Schedule, first schedule.
Honorable members, I propose the question that the first schedule be part of the bill. But I know there is an amendment by the budget of the budget. There's no amendment. Yes, go on record.
Honorable Chair, I equally drop the amendment in this, with the same reasoning that Treasury has confirmed the availability of funds.
Thank you. Honorable members, I now propose the question. I now put the question that Schedule 1 be part of the bill. Will as many as of that opinion say aye? Aye. Will as many as of the contrary opinion say nay? The ayes have it.
Second and third schedule.
Honorable members, I propose the question that the second schedule be part, second and third schedule be part of the bill. Could you confirm on record that there is no amendments?
Madam Chair, I confirm that there's no amendment.
Okay. Honorable members, I now put the question that the second schedule and the third schedule be part of the bill. Will as many as of that opinion say aye? Aye. Will as many as of the contrary opinion say nay? The ayes have it.
Clause 2.
I now propose the question that clause 2 be part of the bill. Confirm there is no amendment?
Madam Chair, there is no amendment.
Okay. Thank you. Honorable members, I now put the question that clause 2 be part of the bill. Will as many as of that opinion say aye? Aye. Will as many as of the contrary opinion say nay? The ayes have it.
Title.
Honorable members, I propose the question that the title be part of the bill. Honorable members, I now put the question that the title be part of the bill. Will as many as of that opinion say aye? Will as many as of the contrary opinion say nay? The ayes have it.
Clause 1.
Honorable members, I propose the question that clause 1 be part of the bill. Confirm there's no amendments. Chairperson, budget.
Madam Chair, I confirm there's no amendment.
Thank you. Honorable members, I now put the question that clause 1 be part of the bill. Will as many as of that opinion say aye? Will as many as of the contrary opinion say nay? The ayes have it. Mover. Honorable Atandi.
The Honorable Chairperson, I beg to move that the committee do report to the House its consideration of the County Government's Additional Allocations Bill, Senate Bill number 1 of 2025, and its approval thereof with amendments. Madam Chair, I beg to move that the committee do report to the House its consideration of the County Government's Additional Allocations Bill, Senate Bill number 1 of 2025, and its approval without amendments.
Okay, thank you. Honorable members, I put the question, which is that the committee do report to the House its consideration of the County Government's Additional Allocations Bill, Senate Bill number 1 of 2025, and its approval thereof without amendments. Will as many as of that opinion say aye? Aye. Will as many as of the contrary opinion say nay? The ayes have it.
Honorable members, Mr. Speaker.
Very well. Chairperson.
Honorable Speaker, I beg to report that the Committee of the Whole House has considered the County Government's Additional Allocations Bill, Senate Bill number 1 of 2025, and approved the same without amendments. Thank you, Honorable Speaker.
Thank you. Mover.
Honorable Speaker, I beg to move that the House do agree with the committee in the said report. I also request Honorable Junet Mohamed to second the motion for argument with the report of the Committee of the Whole House.
Mr. Speaker, I second.
Honorable members, I now propose the question, which is that the House do agree with the committee in the said report. Very well, honorable members, the mood in the House that I put the question. And therefore, honorable members, I now put the question, which is that the House do agree with the committee in the said report. Will as many as of that opinion say aye? Aye. Will as many as of the contrary opinion say nay? The ayes have it. Mover.
Honorable Speaker, I beg to move that the County Government's Additional Allocations Bill, Senate Bill number 1 of 2025, be now read at that time. I also request Honorable Dr. Pukose to second.
Honorable Speaker, I stand to second the third reading of the County Government's Additional Allocation Bill, Senate Bill number 1 of 2025.
Honorable members, I propose the question, which is that the county government's additional allocation bill, Senate Bill number 1 of 2025, be now read a third time. Thank you, honorable members. I now put the question. That I have confirmed that the House is properly constituted for the purpose of making this decision, and I therefore put the question, which is that the county government's additional allocations bill, Senate Bill number 1 of 2025, be now read a third time. Will as many as without opinion say aye? Aye. Will as many of contrary opinion say nay? The ayes have it. Next order.
A bill for an act of parliament to provide for the additional allocations to county governments for the 2024-2025 financial year, the responsibility of national government and county governments pursuant to such allocations and for connected purposes. Order number 3, messages. Order number 4, petitions.
Honorable Kitayama is in the House.
Yes.
Proceed.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker, for this opportunity. Mr. Speaker, I rise to read the petition, public petition number 10 of 2025, titled Resettlement of the Kuria People in Their Ancestral Land in Moyoi, Transmara, Narok County. I, the undersigned, on behalf of Munyonge Anahaki, a welfare association of the Kuria people, and also known as the Tende, and residents of Migori County, draw the attention of the House to the following. That the Kuria people historically occupied the area now known as Moyoi in Transmara, Narok County, referred to as Gutura. And their presence predates that of the Syrian Maasai who arrived later in the 18th century. That the Kuria had lawfully paid 20,000 for 20,000 acres of land in the 1950s following colonial era agreements, and these facts were upheld through historical documents, community testimonials, and court-supervised settlements. That on 2nd February 1989, government security forces conducted a forceful and violent eviction of the Kuria people from their ancestral land, resulting in displacement of over 13,000 people, destruction of homes, rape, looting, and burning of property. That the National Land Commission, NLC, following extensive hearing, issued Gazette Notice number 1550 of 1st March 2019, awarding the 20,000 acres to the Kuria people and recommending restitution to and with integration of current occupants. That despite NLC's ruling, implementation has stalled, allegedly due to interference by corrupt individuals and uncooperative local administration. That ongoing land impasse continues to fuel tension and insecurity in the region, affecting intercommunal peace and stability along Transmara border. That false narrative have been peddled suggesting that the Kuria people intend to alter county boundaries, a claim which we refuse. They refute and clarify that they only seek land restitution and not boundary alteration. That the displacement and denial of land rights violate key constitutional provisions, including that of Article 40, the right to property, Article 43, right to adequate housing, Article 63, community land, and Article 67(2)(e), land injustice redress, a mandate given by the Constitution to the NLC. That the Kuria people continue to suffer in informal settlement and slums lacking access to proper shelter, livelihood, and dignity despite the government's obligation to protect their rights. That the Kuria people have made several appeals to the government and government departmental agencies and the judiciary, including Truth, Justice and Reconciliation Commission, TJRC, all of which affirm the legitimacy of their land claim. However, all these efforts to address the matter has been futile, and lastly, that the matter in respect of which this petition is made is not pending before any court of law or constitutional or legal body. Therefore, your humble petitioners pray that the National Assembly, through the Public Petitions Committee, 1, engages the Ministry of Lands, Public Works, Housing and Urban Development and other relevant authorities with a view of investigating into alleged irregular, illegal acquisition of lands by private developers and recommend for restitution of the 20,000 acres of land to the Kuria people in line with the ruling made by the National Land Commission 2019. 2, recommend for cancellation of irregular land titles and resurveying of the area to enable proper land adjudication and settlement of all rightful claimants. And 3, recommend that the affected Kuria families be verified, resettled, and adequately compensated, and that resources be allocated to facilitate their dignified return. And make any other recommendation or action it deems fit in addressing the plight of the petitioners. Mr. Speaker, and your petitioners will forever pray. Thank you very much, Mr. Speaker.
The Honorable Robert Mbui, you want to speak on this petition? Proceed.
Yeah, thank you, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, I stand to support this petition by the honorable member representing the people of Kuria. And Mr. Speaker, you know, the issue of land has been a real thorn in the flesh in this country. In fact, I'll say, Mr. Speaker, not only do we have the TJRC report he talked about, we've got so many, there was another one, I don't know, Dongo report. Mr. Speaker, we've had so many ways by which we've been trying to deal with the land issue, including even when we promulgated the new constitution, we came up with the National Land Commission. But Mr. Speaker, the problem still persists. I don't know whether this committee, while they investigate this, they can figure out how can we help the country so that the problem of issues of land can become a thing of the past. Because, Mr. Speaker, we cannot continue in this manner. Otherwise, I support the petition, and I want to ask that the committee now, because it is under new leadership and fresh blood is supposed to, a new broom sweeps better, we hope that they do this justice to this petition. Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
Yeah, the Honorable Adan Kenan.
Mr. Speaker, one of the reasons that led to the agitation of the promulgation of the current constitution was to address some of the historical injustices. Mr. Speaker, as a country, we must not be afraid to make certain critical decisions that will improve our image as a country, Mr. Speaker, that will also add value to our diversity, representing the many nation states that constitute this premier nation. Mr. Speaker, this petition being filed in the National Assembly attempts to address some of the issues some of the critical organizations have been either skirting or refusing to acknowledge. It is high time that the Land Commission, and Mr. Speaker, you remember, under Chapter 15 of the current Constitution, we have so many constitutional commissions. The reason why the framers of the current Constitution decided to give independence, institutional, constitutional, statutory, budgetary independence to this critical constitution, Mr. Speaker, was to allow them a space within our governance platform to function independently without being hampered by the day-to-day decision makers. And therefore, Mr. Speaker, I want to be off. The Land Commission and all other constitutional commissions to take their mandate seriously and give Kenyans value for their continued existence, Mr. Speaker.
And therefore, I support this within the context of dealing with some of the historical problems, Mr. Speaker, we have had. Mr. Speaker, in the region of Northern Kenya, you know that if there is one region that has really been abused through sessional paper number 10 of 1965 and through many other administrative, Mr. Speaker, platforms, is the region of Northern Kenya. Mr. Speaker, when I see other regions, people of other regions being stigmatized because of some historical decision, Mr. Speaker, I remember where we have come from. This is why today I empathize with these people and really urge the relevant committee to expedite the process. And, Mr. Speaker, this is my recommendation, so that we don't reduce this house to a talking shop.
You've made your point.
The committee must...
The Honorable Kasim Tandaza.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
Asante Mheshimiwa Spika kwa kunipatia hii fursa. Hili shamba la ardhi na wenyeji kunyanyaswa, sijui ni tulizungumzie ama tuimbe ama tulie ama tutambae ama tufanye nini ili wananchi waweze kupata haki yao. Sio watu wa Kuria peke yake, kila wakati tunalizungumzia hili swala, hasa kwa ule upande wa pwani, tukija Kwale, Matuga, watu wananyanyaswa kila uchao. Kuna sehemu ambazo watu wamejenga kama vile maeneo ya Darad kule Diani, ambapo watu wana vibali ambao wamepewa na serikali na bado wananyanyaswa na mabwenyenye. Mheshimiwa Spika, kama wenzangu walivyozungumza, nikiunga mswada hii hoja ambayo imeletwa na Mheshimiwa Amaro Kitiama kwa niaba ya watu wake wa Kuria, ni jambo ambalo itafika wakati labda tuwe na vikao maalum kama wabunge kuona ni vipi tunaweza kubadilisha sheria ile ambayo saa hizi ile tume ya mashamba National Land Commission wako nayo, ili kuwapa nguvu, na ni vipi tutatumia vitengo mbalimbali ili visiweze kutumiwa na mabwenyenye kupata hatua za serikali na kuwanyanyasa wananchi. Mheshimiwa Spika, na iunga mkono nikisisitiza kwamba wakati umefika bunge iweze kuchukua hatua thabiti za kulinda wananchi wake. Asante Mheshimiwa Spika.
Asante sana. The Honorable Dado Dido Raso.
Thank you very much, Honorable Speaker. Honorable Speaker, I wish to support this petition by Honorable Kitayama. I think it's about the rights of minorities. In this country, the Bill of Rights is very clear. And we must thank the framers of our Constitution 2010 that rights which are delayed or justice delayed is justice denied. Kitayama is talking about issues of history, issues of discrimination, issues of him being a minority in a place where he has one or two constituencies that the Kuria can talk about, but there are other 6 constituencies within the same area where he may not get the governor position within that particular county. Unless we are going to address the rights of these minorities, I think minorities are going to be disadvantaged in this country. They will continue to lag behind. And that is why, once this petition comes to the floor of the House, it is important that it is observed with the best lenses so that their rights can be restored. Thank you, Honorable Speaker.
Finally on this, let's have the Honorable Wilberforce Oundo.
Thank you, Honorable Speaker. I stand in solidarity with my friend who sometimes always in this petition concerning the land issue in his constituency. Honorable Speaker, the issue of land conflicts has been clearly picked out in the Njonjo Commission report. It has been clearly picked out in the Dung report. It has clearly been picked out in the National Land Policy and subsequent legislations and policies. Honorable Speaker, the Constitution of Kenya envisaged 2 separate approaches to solving historical land injustice as well as land disputes. Honorable Speaker, when we created the National Land Commission, we believed and trusted they'll have the full constitutional mandate to resolve such issues. But over time, Honorable Speaker, their mandate or their roles has been emasculated through some intestine wars between the main ministry, the cabinet secretary, plus the National Land Commission. because of stupid fights that do not need to. We just hope this petition, at its fullness, they will pick out the legal lacuna and make sure we return land dispute matters back to the National Land Commission, and also have local traditional land dispute mechanism, Honorable Speaker. They are faster, they are more efficient, and they consider local issues that could easily be considered faster and expeditiously. I support, Honorable Speaker.
Very well. This petition is referred to the Public Petitions Committee. Is the chair in the House? Any member of the Public Petitions Committee in the House? Very well. After how long will you be having Very well. You are given a maximum of 90 days to bring that petition to the House. Thank you. Before we go to the next order, let me acknowledge and recognize in the public gallery Apostolic Carmel School of constituency Kapseret, Uasin Gishu. Please, members, make sure you applaud the students who are in the public galleries. I don't know if the member of parliament for that particular constituency is in the House, just any other member of parliament from that particular county. Very well. Next order.
Order number 5, papers.
Majority.
Give me the bag. Yeah, thank you. Honorable Speaker, I beg to lay the following papers on the table of the House today, Thursday, April 24th, 2025. A, reports of the Auditor General and financial statement of commodities, fund, staff, mortgage, and car loan scheme for the years ended 30th June 2020 and 2030, June 2023, and the certificates therein. B, reports of the Auditor General on hybrid generation of off-grid power system, credit number CKE 106601L for the year ended 30th June 2022, Kenya Power and Lighting Company KPLC. C, summary reports of the Auditor General on national government for the financial years 2023-2024. D, reports of the Auditor General and financial statement for the years ended 30th June 2023 and the certificates therein in respect of 1, Chamasiri Technical and Vocational College, 2, Chasangwe Technical and Vocational College, 3, Shuka Technical and Vocational College, 4, Dr. Daniel Wako Murende Technical and Vocational College, 5, Ebukanga Technical and Vocational College, 6, Friends College, Kaimosi, 7, Kaiboi Technical Training Institute, 8, Karumo Technical Training Institute, 9, Kenya Seed Company, Rwanda Limited, 10, Kibo Seed Company Limited, 11, Kirua Technical Training Institute, 12, Kimasian Technical and Vocational College, 13, Kisiwa Technical Training Institute, 14, Lafe Technical and Vocational College, 15, Matili Technical Training Institute, 16, Matungu Technical Training Institute, 17, Mukiria Technical Training Institute, 18, Ramogi Institute of Advanced Technology, 19, Simlo Seeds Company Kenya Limited, and 20, Simlo Seed Company U Limited. Thank you, Honorable Speaker, and I lay.
Very well. What's your point of order?
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Next to me, I found myself sitting in the leadership row, but it's appalling to notice that the table for the minority whip doesn't hold. It's falling apart. What's going on, Mr. Speaker? We want urgent action to be taken so that our table is restored.
Honourable member, come up clearly. What are you speaking about? What's your point of order? Very well. Before we go to the ordinary statements by members, next order. We shall call you.
Order number 6, notices of motion. Order number 7, questions and statements.
Very well. Before we go to the statements by the members, let me bring the leader to give his Thursday House business statement. Proceed, leader.
Thank you, Honorable Speaker. Honorable Speaker, I pass on to the provisions of Standing Order 44.2a. I rise to give the following statement on behalf of the House Business Committee, which met on Tuesday, 22nd April 2025, to prioritize business for consideration during the week. Honorable Speaker, with regard to business scheduled for Tuesday next week, the House is expected to consider the following bills at various stages, some of which are listed in today's order paper. Honorable Speaker, we will have a look at the Committee of the Whole House on the 2 bills that we have passed our second reading today, that is the Social Protection Bill 2025 and the Value Added Tax Amendment Bill 2025, Honorable Speaker. Then, Honorable Speaker, we will move to second reading of the following bills. 1, the Learners with Disabilities Bill, Senate Bill number 4 of 2023, a very important bill, Honorable Speaker. Then we'll do the National Cohesion and Integration Bill 2023 and the Political Parties Amendment number 2 bill, a Senate bill. That's a Senate bill, Honorable Speaker. In addition, Honorable Speaker and members, the House will also consider the following motions: ratification of agreements on fisheries subsidies. This is a very important bill. Those people with those members coming from fish growing areas, and the chairman here, we will look at the ratification of agreements on fisheries so that we can, the bill is coming. The ratification of the agreement on fisheries subsidies is coming on next week, Honorable Speaker. Honorable Millie, make sure you are there. The third report of the Public Investment Committee on Social Services, Administration and Agriculture, audit consideration of the audited accounts of specified state corporation. Third, reports of the Public Investment Committee on Governance and Education on consideration of the audited accounts of state corporation for Central Region. 4, consideration of comprehensive economic partnership agreements between the Republic of Kenya and the United Arab Emirates. And 4, consideration of nominees for appointments as members of the Board of Central Bank. Honorable Speaker, it's important to note that the Central Bank is going to have a new board, and we have the privilege as a House, the 13th Parliament, Honorable Speaker, to preside over the consideration of the nominees for that appointment, Honorable Speaker. Further, Honorable Speaker, in accordance with the provisions of Standing Order 42A, 5 and 6, I wish to convey that the Prime Cabinet Secretary, the Honorable Musalia David, who is also the Cabinet Secretary for Foreign and Diaspora Affairs, is scheduled to appear before the House on the afternoon of Wednesday, 30th April 2025, to respond to concerns on the criteria used by the government to classify hardship areas and payment of hardship allowance to teachers and other civil servants in the country. Honorable Speaker, you know that this was something that we've been pushing for the last 1 month, and the Honorable Jared Okello has been at the forefront on this. So, Honorable Speaker, we need to be here so that we can actually listen to the Cabinet Secretary on the issue of hardship allowances, payment of hardship allowances to teachers and other civil servants. That is on Wednesday, 30th of April, Honorable Speaker. In addition, the Prime Cabinet Secretary is also scheduled to respond to the following questions. 1, question number 034 of 2025 by the member for West Mugirango, the Honorable Stephen Mogaka MP, regarding measures taken by the government to assist Mr. Chris Ayuga Barake of passport number B203878, who was arrested and detained in India on allegations of online fraud on 6th October 2023. The second question is a question number 035 of 2025 by the member for Nandi County, the Honorable Cynthia Muge, who is not in here, regarding details of all children born to Kenyan mothers in the Kingdom of Saudi Arabia and steps being taken to process their returns to Kenya. And question number 046 of 2025 by the member for Game, the Honorable Elisha Odhiambo. I cannot see Elisha here, but his question will be responded regarding strategies and measures for streamlining the process of integration of Kenyans born abroad and their recognition as Kenyan citizens. Honorable Speaker, in conclusion, Honorable Speaker, the House Business Committee will convene on Tuesday, 29th April 2025 to schedule business for the rest of that week. Now, I wish to lay this statement on the table of the House, and I wish to all members a beautiful weekend, happy weekend, as they go to their constituencies to engage with their constituents on matters development. I wish you a beautiful. Honorable Speaker, I beg to lay.
Yes, Honorable Martha Wangari.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker, for indulging me. I was looking at the order paper. On Tuesday, I requested a statement on gambling, specifically the Aviator game of chance, and the Speaker ruled that it should be brought to the floor of the House today. It is not listed in the order paper, Mr. Speaker. Maybe you can give us some guidance from the committee, because we are headed to go for recess next week, and it is very urgent that we discuss that matter, Mr. Speaker.
Very well, Honorable Martha. I vividly remember you asking for that particular statement. Who is the committee chair? Is in the House? Finance Committee chair. I cannot see the chair in his usual place. Any member of the Finance Committee? Leader? You need to undertake that you remind the chair, Committee Finance, to actually bring an answer to the statement that was asked by Honorable Martha.
On Tuesday. Much obliged.
Yes, what's your point of order, Honorable Member?
Thank you, Honorable Speaker. I'm just referring to the statement that has just been read by the Majority Leader, the Deputy Majority Leader, sorry. Honorable Speaker, 2 weeks ago, we raised some fundamental issues here that needed to be responded to by the Cabinet Secretary for Roads and Transport. We expected to have him yesterday. He wasn't here, and we were explained to that he's in China. And next week being the last week before we proceed for recess, I would have hoped that House Business would have scheduled the CS for Roads to appear to respond to some very pertinent issues that were required to be discussed, because quite a number of these issues, Honorable Speaker, were raised before the committee and were to be responded by the Committee of Transport, but were subsequently dropped so that the Cabinet Secretary himself would respond to them. In the absence of the Cabinet Secretary, it means these statements and questions that were raised to the Department of Transport over 2 months ago will not be responded to as we go into recess. So I'd like your indulgence, Honorable Speaker, for the Majority Leader to just explain to us and perhaps give us an undertaking when we expect the Cabinet Secretary for Roads to address some very pertinent issues, especially before we start the
You've made your point and quite
process. Thank you.
Clear, very, very, very well put. Leader, remember the Speaker while sitting, the substantive Speaker while sitting in his place, did indicate that the CS was out and possibly will be appearing before the House next week. Could you make a comment on that?
Thank you, Honorable Speaker. Honorable Speaker, I've had the Honorable Mwenje on this matter, and I think this is the second time he's raised the issue. But just like you said, the substantive Speaker gave reasons why he could not appear last Wednesday. But I also want to undertake that we will get communication from his house, from his office, so that Wednesday, by Tuesday, we'll inform you if he will appear on Wednesday. But I would like also him to appear on Wednesday alongside the Cabinet Secretary, the Prime Cabinet Secretary, because the issues of the Prime Cabinet Secretary are not long. They're just a few items, and it is possible to have the two Cabinet Secretaries appearing on Wednesday. So I want to undertake that we'll make arrangement to have the Cabinet Secretary for Transport be in the House on that day. Thank you, Honorable Speaker.
And I would further add that in the interest of all the members, because matters concerning roads concern really the members greatly, make an undertaking, as you have really indicated, that he appears alongside the PCS. Thank you. Now, let's go to the next statement by the Honorable Joseph Gitari, MP Kirinyaga Central.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, I rise to request for a statement regarding operationalization of Inouye Division in Kirinyaga County. Honorable Speaker, pursuant to provision of Standing Order 42C, I wish to request for a statement from the chairperson of the Departmental Committee on Administration and Internal Security regarding operationalization of Inouye Division in Kirinyaga County. Honorable Speaker, Inouye was gazetted as a division by the Gazette Notice, volume CX1X, on 21st June 2017. However, the government has not yet operationalized the administration unit. The ordinate delay has denied the residents of Kirinyaga County access to essential government services that would have been offered by the divisional offices. Honorable Speaker, it is against this background that I seek a statement from the chairperson of the Departmental Committee on Administration and Internal Security on the following. 1, the reason for the inordinate delay of Inouye Division as gazetted by Gazette Notice, volume CX1X on 21st June 2017. And 2, Mr. Speaker, report on the measures that the government is taking to make sure that Inouye is operational as a division, including the timelines. I thank you, Mr. Speaker.
Okay, very well. Chair, the Chair, Committee on Administration and Internal Security. Yes.
Thank you very much, Honorable Speaker. Honorable Speaker, I have heard what Honorable Gitari is seeking. Last week, when the Honorable Kipchumba Murkomen, the Cabinet Secretary for Interior, appeared before the House, I think he really addressed himself to that issue. But also, on Tuesday, he appeared before the committee, and also he has given us an undertaking that he will provide a comprehensive list of all pending cases of sub-counties, divisions, and locations that have not been operationalized. So for that reason, we will undertake to provide response to the House immediately we come from the recess. Thank you, Honorable Speaker.
Very well. Yes.
Chair, Honorable Speaker, I would wish to thank Honorable Gitari for raising that very substantive issue. Honorable Speaker, the issue of operationalization of administrative units in this country is an issue that the Ministry of Interior should take up seriously. Honorable Speaker, it is not only in Nyandarua that issue has come up. It is all over the country. So, Honorable Speaker, I call upon the CS for Interior and the entire Committee for Interior to take up that matter to ensure that, one, apart from operationalization, what is the legal framework guiding the issue of setting up new administrative units in this country? Because, Honorable Speaker, there is no clear framework. It is only given as a token, or it is only given when you request. So, Honorable Speaker, I second that statement.
Order. There's no need of seconding statements. And I've been a religious follower of this matter. When the minister was here, as Raso has explained, there's an undertaking now that is in progress. And indeed, the sentiments you are actually putting across were put the same day. But we thank you for them. Indeed, Hon Raso, take those statements in mind, and that's, I think, what we told the minister to undertake, and bring a list. Yes, Honorable Raso.
Thank you, Honorable Speaker, for indulging me. I think what the MP for Marakwet, he was in the House on that day. What the minister said, he needed 2.5 billion to operationalize everything that has been gazetted. So the onus is on us. If we are ready to give him the money, then whatever has been gazetted will be operationalized. So for that reason, Honorable Gitari's statement will be responded to, But I think we cannot play the ball outside this house. This is a budget-making house, and we must look for the money. Thank you, Honorable Speaker.
Very well. The Honorable Farah Yakum.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Honorable Speaker, pursuant to Standing Order 44-2C, I rise to request a statement from the chairperson of the Departmental Committee on Administration and Internal Security regarding the status of security measures in the Fafi constituency, Garissa County, following a recent attack by suspected Al-Shabaab militants. Honorable Speaker, it is with profound concern that I report the tragic loss of 6 police reservists and the injury of 4 other officers in a heinous attack that occurred on 23rd March 2025 in Biamudu Fafi constituency. The assailants, believed to be members of the Al-Shabaab terror group, staged a coordinated assault on a police reservist camp at dawn, deploying firearms and explosives to overwhelm the facility. Shockingly, there has been no official statement or communication from the relevant government authorities on this matter. This attack is the latest in a series of security breaches attributed to Al-Shabaab, a group officially designated as a terrorist organization by the government of Kenya and the international community, often targeting military personnel, security installations, and civilians alike, primarily in a frontier counties such as Garissa, Wajir, and Mandera. Honorable Speaker, the National Police Reservists have played a critical role in supplementing formal security operations, particularly in remote and underserved areas. It is against this background that I seek a statement from the chairperson of the Departmental Committee on Administration and Internal Security on the following. 1, provide information on the government's mechanism for compensating the families of 6 NPR officers who tragically lost their lives during the attack in Fafi constituency. State measures the government has taken to cover the medical expense of the 4 officers who sustained injuries during the attack. Provide details on any ongoing or planned support programs, financial, psychological, or otherwise, for the affected officers and their families. State the immediate security interventions with long-term strategies the government is implementing to safeguard the residents of Fafi constituency and prevent further attacks by Al-Shabaab or other militant groups. I thank you, Honorable Speaker.
The Chairperson, Administration and Internal Security, Didoraso.
Thank you very much, Honorable Speaker. Honorable Speaker, I believe the honorable members made something that is very substantive. His constituency that borders a neighboring country actually is under serious threat security-wise. And I think more than that statement, although we will share the statement with the ministry, I would ask him to engage also the committee so that the committee makes an effort of even visiting the region so that we are able to help out and brief the House accordingly.
So how long?
Immediately after the recess, Honorable Speaker.
Very well. The next statement was to be by the Honorable Badagala, but the Honorable Badagala did write to the Speaker, and therefore that one is held in abeyance, and therefore let's move to Honorable Mayaka. Order, Honorable Mayaka. I'm told that the Honorable Badagala did instruct that the Honorable Bato will present that statement on her behalf. So before we get to you, Honorable Mayaka, let's get Honorable Bato on behalf of Honorable Badagala.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Allow me to welcome as well the students from Kapseret constituency, which is in Uasin Gishu, on behalf of the Member of Parliament, Oscar Sudi, who is away on official duty. Mr. Speaker, Kapseret constituency is in Uasin Gishu. I'm a member of Uasin Gishu County, I want to welcome the students and to tell them to feel at home. This is Parliament. This is where the laws of the land are made. I hope by the time you leave this house, you will have learned something which is going to shape your lives in future. Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Now I go to the statement from Honorable Beatrice Adagala. Request for a statement regarding continued power outages across the country. Honorable Speaker, pursuant to Standing Order 44, subsection 2C, I rise to request for a statement from the chairperson of the Departmental Committee on Energy regarding continued and increasingly frequent power outages being experienced across the country. Honorable Speaker, in the recent past, the country has experienced persistent and widespread power outages, some lasting several hours, and in certain areas, occurring daily. These blackouts have affected households, disrupted businesses, endangered patients in health facilities, and raised serious concerns over the stability and reliability of the national power grid. Despite previous assurances from Kenya Power and Lighting Company and other energy sector stakeholders, the problem continues to persist, causing significant economic losses and eroding public confidence in our national power infrastructure. Honorable Speaker, it is against this background that I request for a statement from the chairperson of the Departmental Committee of Energy on the following. 1, report on causes of the frequent and prolonged power outages being experienced across the country. 2, steps being taken by the Ministry of Energy and KPLC to stabilize power supply and prevent constant and repeated outages. 3, the immediate mitigation measures being implemented to protect essential service providers such as hospitals, learning institutions, and security installations from these outages. 4, the progress made in upgrading and maintaining the national power infrastructure, including timelines for resolving persistent faults and ensuring reliability of the national grid. And 5, plans to diversify the country's energy mix to reduce overdependence on certain power sources and enhance resilience in the face of climate, technical, or economic shock. I thank you, Honorable Speaker, for Honorable Beatrice Adagala, MP.
Chair Energy.
Honorable Speaker, we request once we resume, because we'll be looking at it, and once we resume after recess, we'll be able to give a response. Thank you.
Very well. What is it, Honorable Member?
Mr. Speaker, I want to kindly request you, because I tried to come up with the same question, and I was told it will be on the floor today. The Honorable Gikaria must get serious on replies to this House.
Honorable Member, this is a statement, not a question.
Yeah, but on replying, that's what I'm saying, because he's saying after we come from recess.
Yes.
For instance, where I come from, Ngong, Rongai, and Kisera. Mr. Speaker, a lot of people depend on power to do their barbershop, their salon. Businesses are falling down because of continuous 3 days in a week. When Gikaria says he'll reply after recess, we need an answer immediately, next week before we go on recess. 3 weeks is too long for small business people within where we live. Some of our houses, even members of parliament. And the Honorable Gikaria, you are the chair for Energy Committee. You must provide answers to this House.
Order,
why are you
Honorable
saying
Member.
that after recess? After recess, how?
Order, Honorable Member. It's only proper that we give the chairman ample time to prepare. And I therefore instruct the Honorable Gikaria. Order. Take your seat. I gave you a chance to speak, so you can now not maneuver me around. Yes, order. We really need to give the committee time. But before Gikaria speaks on this, I can see the Honorable Member is also very enraged. What is it? No, we have given to Jalango.
Jalango. Thank you so much, Mr. Speaker.
Precisely.
This is not the first time matters electricity and blackouts are being mentioned in this house. Statements, we've asked questions, and it's always give us a week, give us a month, give us 3 weeks. They sit every single Thursday and every single Tuesday, for the same questions. Honorable Gikaria, you are the chairperson, Energy Committee. I came here and asked for questions about Silanga, where we had issues. Now, the transformers that are even being brought on the ground cannot even sustain the community. And when we even talk about sometimes about last mile connections, there are people who've not even seen that last mile, or we don't even know how far the mile is.
Very well,
you understand?
Delamo.
So Gikaria must give us, Honorable Gikaria must give us answers today. Please, Mr. Speaker, tell him to stand. He has these answers because we've been talking about these same questions.
You've made your point. You made your point. Yes, what's your point of order, Honorable Millie?
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, members are asking very substantive issues that have to do with the transformers. And we have since learned recently that some of the transformers that were purchased are defective. So I know that they are being, something is being done. But something as basic as a tree falling and power going out from yesterday morning. And I call up to date, no power. Is that Kenya powerlessness or Kenya Power? Can they change their names officially? Kenya Powerlessness and I don't know what. It's a joke. If there is a disconnection, Kenya Powerlessness and disconnection and darkness.
Very well.
Mr. Speaker, if there was one agency that was known for efficiency, it was Kenya Power. The one that used to give us nightmares was water. Are you competing with water to being ineffective, or are you trying to sabotage Honorable Wandai because he's an expert? Please reconnect. Basic, let us not even be talking about issues like transformers. This is just a tree that has fallen, surely. You are joking.
Very well. I think members have serious concern, and the concerns are many. And therefore, no, just take your place. Therefore, there was another statement by Honorable Lesuda concerning power. So let's hear Honorable Lesuda on the same. Possibly to cover some of the members' interests, and then I can make a ruling. Proceed, Honorable Lesuda.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. And just listening to my colleagues, I wish the bills used to delay as well, and I wish the electricity bills were also cheaper.
Go directly to your statement.
Honorable Speaker, pursuant to the provisions of Standing Order 44-2C, I wish to request for a statement from the chairperson of the Departmental Committee on Energy regarding the persistent power outage in Samburu West constituency, including Maralal Town. Honorable Speaker, for the past several months, Samburu West constituency, particularly Maralal Town, has been experiencing repeated blackouts without any prior notice, explanation, or projected timelines for restoration. These power interruptions have not only caused immense inconvenience to residents, but have led to substantial financial losses for local businesses, many of which rely entirely on electricity to power their operations. This situation is particularly unacceptable in light of the already difficult economic environment and in a region that continues to grapple with the effects of historical marginalization, despite the promises of equal opportunity under the devolved system of governance. Honorable Speaker, the continued power outages, coupled with the lack of communication from Kenya Power and Lighting Company, KPLC, constitute a clear violation of the legal obligations set forth in the Energy Act 2019, Cap 225. Further, under the Consumer Protection Act 2012, consumers have a right to fair service delivery and are entitled to seek compensation where economic losses arise from negligence or disruption utility services. Honorable Speaker, it is against this background that I request for a statement from the chairperson of the Departmental Committee on Energy on the following. 1, the immediate underlying cause or causes of the persistent power outages currently being experienced in Maralal town and other parts of Samburu West constituency. Secondly, reasons for lack of formal communication or advanced notification to residents and businesses of interruption of power supply as required by law under the Energy Act and KPLC's service charter. Thirdly, measures that the ministry has put in place to urgently resolve these outages and ensure consistent and reliable power supply to Samburu West constituency moving forward. Fourthly, any alternatives or strategic partnerships being explored by the ministry to provide Maralal and the entire Samburu West constituency with supplementary or backup power sources to mitigate the effects of power outages in future. And lastly, plans, if any, by the ministry to compensate affected businesses, residents and businesses for the losses occasioned by perennial power outages. I thank you, Honorable Speaker.
The Honorable Gikaria, and speak generally about the interest that your committee is already raising in the House.
Thank you, Honorable Speaker. As much as I agree with the concerns of the members regarding the power outages in the country, I totally agree, Honorable Speaker. In fact, this morning I signed a letter to go and also visit Roysambu and Ruaraka, where there are so many transformers which are lying, for us to understand what is the problem. Is it the transformers? And secondly, Honorable Speaker, during the rainy season, and I want honorable members to understand, during the rainy seasons, the trees falling, and you remember there was a time Kenya Power brought down so many trees, and it was brought in the social media that we are planting and they are cutting trees. The tree falling on lines contribute almost 80% of the power outages. Yes. So we will be able to address that.
So when are you bringing the statement, the replies to the statements?
Tuesday is a very short period, Honorable Speaker. To be honest, if we are given after the recess, we will be able to bring the responses to this.
Honorable Gikaria and honorable members, I want you to indulge with Gikaria. Remember, Gikaria is a new chair of that particular committee. I'm also affected, just like you are affected. And therefore, Honorable Gikaria, immediately after recess, you bring those replies plus all others that the members of parliament may speak to you about as you see the interests. Number two, I think the leadership, we have to organize leadership in the House, organize immediately we leave recess to bring the energy CS. That will really mitigate the many issues that members of parliament have on the energy sector. Thank you. Honorable Irene Mayaka.
Thank you, Honorable Speaker. Honorable Speaker, I wish to request for a statement regarding the transfer of funds collected through the Electronic Travel Authorization ETA system to foreign banks. Honorable Speaker, pursuant to the provisions of Standing Order 44.2c, I rise to request for a statement from the chairperson of the Departmental Committee on Finance and National Planning regarding the transfer of funds collected through the Electronic Travel Authorization, otherwise known as ETA system, to foreign banks. Honorable Speaker, the Electronic Travel Authorization ETA system was implemented with effect from the 1st of January 2024, in line with the Presidential Directive on a visa-free regime in Kenya. Under the regime, all visitors, including infants and children intending to travel to the Republic of Kenya, except for citizens of East African Community, are required to have an approved ETA before the start of their journeys. The Cabinet approved introduction of the Treasury Single Account, TSA, a unified structure of the government bank accounts for consolidation of government cash resources into a single account or a set of linked accounts domiciled at the Central Bank of Kenya. Honorable Speaker, there have been allegations that billions of shillings collected through the ETA system were deposited in private foreign banks' accounts in Switzerland. On the 14th of April 2025, the government spokesperson confirmed that a Swiss company which was involved in the early rollout of the ETA system received the funds. This arrangement contravenes Article 2061 of the Constitution, which establishes the consolidated fund where all monies raised or received by the national government must be paid, unless excluded by an act of parliament or lawfully retained by a state organ to cover its expenses. In addition, Section 28, 1 and 6 of the Public Finance Management Act, Cap 412A, mandates that only the National Treasury can authorize the opening of bank accounts for national and county government entities, and it must maintain complete and current records of all such accounts. Honorable Speaker, it is against this background that I request for a statement from the chairperson of the Departmental Committee on Finance and National Planning on the following. Number one, the circumstances that led to the funds collected through the Electronic Travel Authorization (ETA) system to be deposited in foreign bank accounts instead of the Treasury's single account TSA through the e-citizen system. Number two, a report on the particulars of the foreign bank accounts holding fees collected under the ETA platform, and if there were any relevant approvals by the National Treasury authorizing the opening and maintenance of the same. Number three, the quantum of funds held in these banks, the corresponding periods the funds have been held, and settlement dates since the inception of the implementation of this ETA system. And finally, number five, the details of the settlement framework entered into by the government and the foreign Swiss company for funds collected through the ETA system. I thank you, Honorable Speaker.
Chair, Finance and National Planning. Leadership. You will undertake? Yes.
Yes, Chair. Yes, Honorable Speaker.
So please undertake that the replies to that particular statement come immediately after recess.
Thank you, Honorable Speaker, and we'll do that.
Next, the Honorable Joshua.
Thank you, Honorable Speaker. Pursuant to provisions of Standing Order 44-2C, I rise to request for a statement from the chairperson of the Departmental Committee on Tourism and Wildlife regarding rampant cases of snake bites in Baringo County. Honorable Speaker, Baringo County harbors around 38 out of 171 snake bites species found in Kenya, and 5 of these snakes are highly poisonous, namely black mamba, red spitting cobra, brown spitting cobra, papa adder, pumslang. Alarmingly, the region has been recorded as having one of the highest incidents of snake bites cases in the country. For instance, the District Health Information System reported that from January 2022 to July 2022, there were 254 cases documented. More recently, on July 3rd, 2024, the late Mr. Amos Chepuret Kimeres, who was in good health and going on with his daily activities at home, was fatally bitten by poisonous snakes. Despite being immediately rushed to the Cabernet Referral Hospital, he unfortunately succumbed to the poisonous snake while undergoing treatment. Honorable Speaker, subsequently, the family sought compensation from the Kenya Wildlife Services, but were doing it on the basis that the Kenya Wildlife Conservation and Management Act of Cap 376 was amended in 2019 to exclude compensation for snake bites incidents resulting to injury or death. In 2021, the Cabinet Secretary for Tourism and Wildlife assured the public that the ministry was working towards reinstating compensation for victims of snake bites. However, this commitment remains unfulfilled to date. The lack of redress is also particularly concerning in Baringo County, where frequent and fatal snake bites continue to devastate families, often stripping households of their primary earners. Honorable Speaker, it is against this background that I request for a statement from the chairperson of the Departmental Committee on Tourism and Wildlife on the following. The steps taken by the Ministry of Tourism and Wildlife to reinstate compensation for victims of snake bites, particularly in Baringo, on other regions where such cases are rampant. 2, the measures put in place or are being considered to provide interim relief to the affected families who suffer the loss of their loved one due to snake bites, such as the family of Mr. Amos Cheburet Kimeres, who succumbed to a snake bite. And 3, a report on the number of snake bite incidents leading to fatalities or severe injuries that have been recorded in Baringo County from 2024 to date, and the interventions made in each case. Thank you, Honorable Speaker.
Very well. The chair, before the chair, Tourism and Wildlife, let me listen to a point of order from the Deputy Speaker.
It's a point of information, and I think maybe the other members can help us. I would have assumed keeping data on various illnesses and injuries and so on falls under health, which is devolved. So usually the CEC at the health at the county should be able to say what are the prevalent attacks that exist in the county. That is where the point of contact should be.
Very well. The chair, Tourism and Wildlife, is in the house. Vice chair, a member of that committee. Yes. You can undertake on behalf of your committee. Proceed.
Yes, thank you, Mr. Speaker. On behalf of the committee, I believe we can execute the matter during the recess and hopefully be able to bring the reply once we come back from the recess, given the time that is available between now and the time that we are going on the recess. Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
You can or you will?
We will.
Thank you.
Thank you.
That's now more proper. The next statement, the Honorable Amos Mwago.
Honorable Speaker, pursuant to the provisions of Standing Order 44.2c, I wish to request for a statement from the chairperson of the Committee on Transport and Infrastructure regarding collapsed bridges in Ngara and Lanimai wards within Starehe constituency. Honorable Speaker, Section 10.2 of the Kenya Roads Act, Cap 408, provides that the Kenya Urban Roads Authority, KURA, is responsible for the management, development, rehabilitation, and maintenance of urban roads, which includes any bridges on these roads. In recent months, heavy rainfall has led to severe flooding in Starehe constituency, which resulted in the collapse of 2 bridges in Ngara and in Lanimai wards. These bridges serve as a transportation link. Their destruction has paralyzed movement within the constituency. Unfortunately, this has adversely affected school-going children who now struggle to access their school, undermining their constitutional right to education, as well as disrupt the economic activities of the constituency. Honorable Speaker, it is against this background that I request for a statement from the chairperson of the Departmental Committee on Transport and Infrastructure on the following. 1, report on the status of rehabilitation of the collapsed bridges in Ngara and Lanimai wards in Starehe constituency, including timelines for their reconstruction. And 2, the immediate measures the ministry is implementing to provide temporary crossing solutions for the residents. Thank you, Honorable Speaker.
Chair, Transport and Infrastructure Committee.
Thank you, Honorable Speaker. We avail a response in the next 3 weeks.
Do you say 3 weeks?
No, 2 weeks after recess.
Very well. Honorable Mwago.
Honorable Speaker, I would like to urge the chairman for transport to try and fast track the immediate maybe immediate solutions, because currently we are experiencing heavy rainfall in Starehe constituency, and the movement is inhibited by the lack of these bridges. If you seek for a solution, a temporary solution to help people cross the bridges as of now, I think it would be appropriate. But 2 weeks is far too long a time after the recess, which is actually 3 weeks.
Very well, Honorable Mwago, you are quite objective, and therefore I think the chair bring the statement immediately after recess, given that school children are affected. The next statement, request of statement, is by Honorable Amina. The Honorable Amina Muyanzi.
Thank you so much, Honorable Speaker. I stand to request for a statement regarding aircraft safety at Malindi International Airport. Honorable Speaker, pursuant to the provisions of Standing Order 44.2c, I rise to request for a statement from the chairperson of the Departmental Committee on Transport and Infrastructure regarding aircraft safety at the Malindi International Airport. Honorable Speaker, on the 10th January 2025, an aircraft registration number 5Y-CDC operated by the Kenya Aeronautical College was involved in a tragic crash 2 kilometers from Malindi Airport, resulting in the loss of 3 lives, injuries to 3 others, and extensive damage to the aircraft. Barely 2 months later, on the 8th March 2025, a Cessna 152 aircraft, registration number 5Y-BYQ, owned by the Kenya School of Flying, was also involved in a tragic accident, resulting in the loss of the life of a student pilot. Following these incidents, aircraft accident investigators from the Ministry of Roads and Transport and the Kenyan Civil Aviation Authority visited the crash sites and retrieved the engines of both aircrafts for further examination. Reports on the preliminary findings regarding the aircraft accidents were released. However, to date, no official conclusive reports have been released to the public or to the affected institutions regarding the probable cause or contributing factors and safety recommendation for accident prevention to ensure aircraft safety. These incidents raise concern about the state of aircraft safety at Malindi International Airport and the need for additional safety protocols to prevent such occurrences in future. Honorable Speaker, it is against this background that I request for a statement from the chairperson of the Departmental Committee on Transport and Infrastructure on the following. 1, the current status of investigation in the 2 aircraft accidents involving aircrafts operating from Malindi International Airport. 2, an official report on the findings regarding the probable cause of the accident and the safety recommendations by the Ministry of Roads and Transport and KCAA. 3, the expected timeline for conclusion and publication of the results of the investigation to the public and affected institutions. 4, measures being implemented by the Ministry of Roads and Transport to improve air safety for aircraft used in training at Malindi International Airport and in airports nationwide. And lastly, plans by the government to compensate the families of the victims, including specific timelines for compensation. Thank you, Honorable Speaker.
Chairman, Transport, Infrastructure.
Honorable Speaker, 2 weeks after recess.
Again, 2 weks
after, yes.
You have enough time, so bring it just immediately after recess.
Correct.
Let committees work.
No problem.
Thank you, Chair.
Thank you.
Next request of statements by the Honorable Joseph. Is that Joseph or Joseph? Proceed.
Joseph.
Or Joseph.
Yes. Thank you, Honorable Speaker. I rise to request for a statement on the upgrading of Eldoret Kapsabet Chavakali Road, C39. Honorable Speaker, pursuant to the provision of Standing Order 44.2c, I rise to request for a statement from the chairperson of the Departmental Committee on Transport and Infrastructure regarding upgrading of the Eldoret Kapsabet Chavakali Road, C39. Honorable Speaker, the Eldoret Kapsabet Chavakali Road, C39, is an important transport route facilitating regional connectivity by linking Uasin-Gishu, Nandi, Vihiga counties, and further linking to Kakamega, Bungoma, Kisumu, and Siaya counties. Notably, the road boosts agriculture and trade by connecting markets in Eldoret City, Mosoriot, Chepterit, Kapsabet, Chepsonoi, Cheptulu, Mudete, Javakali, and Shamakoko, while also providing access to Chebut and Mudete, tea factories, and transportation of perishable farm produce like tea, leaves, cereals, fruits, milk, and vegetables to markets. It is also the link road to Eldoret International Airport and key health facilities like Moi Teaching and Referral Hospitals, Kapsabet County Referral Hospital, Jumuiya Hospital, Kaimosi, and Sabatia Eye Hospital. Honorable Speaker, despite the crucial significance of the Eldoret Kapsabet Chavakali Road, it has never been expanded to meet the increasing traffic demand since it was tarmacked many years ago. Along it, and convergence of traffic from other regions. Consequently, it faces significant congestion due to expansion of Eldoret City, the towns located along it, and convergence of traffic from other regions. Notably, traffic from South Rift, Nyanza, Kisii, Western Kenya converges on this road via major roads such as Chemelil, Nandi Hills, Namgoi, Kisumu, Javakali, Kapsabet, and Kakamega, Chavakali, Kapsabet, straining the already heavily trafficked and narrow road. This has negatively impacted socio-economic activities in the region by raising transport costs, delaying emergency response, and hindering investors in public transport due to high wear and tear costs. Further, its deplorable state has caused fatal accidents, such as the tragic accidents at Chemarmar in June 2023 and at Mutuot on 10th January 2025, which claimed 4 lives and left others critically injured. Honorable Speaker, it is against this backdrop that I request for a statement from the chairperson of the Departmental Committee on Transport and Infrastructure on the following. Number 1, a report on the maintenance record of Eldoret Kapsabet Chavakali Road C39 since 2013, including the details of the contractors, total expenditure incurred on maintenance, the scope of work done in each maintenance cycle, and inspection reports. Number 2, the short-term and long-term strategies for improving and expanding the Kapsabet Chavakali Road, including fully overhauling and recarpeting the surface instead of the current periodic patchwork maintenance, so as to get value for public funds invested in the repairs. And finally, plans by the Kenya National Highways Authority, KENA, to dual the Kapsabet Eldoret section of the road and construct proper road shoulders so as to ease flow of traffic on this critical road. I thank you, Honorable Speaker.
Thank you, Honorable Joses Lelmengit of Mgwen, Chair Transport. And remember, this is a road that serves me, and I'm affected seriously by what Honorable Joses is speaking about. Proceed, Chair.
Yes, Honorable Speaker, we will respond after recess.
It's okay, and this one we can even give you 2 weeks after recess, because we want a comprehensive answer on that particular one.
Correct.
Thank you.
2 weeks.
And please, Honorable Joses, just accept 2 weeks after recess so that the answer is comprehensive. Because it's a road that has really disturbed the communication between Eldoret, Kapsabet, and Vihiga. And I think even the Honorable Member for Aldai is also an interested party. Thank you. Let's move to response to statements. And the first one, we begin with a response by the Chair of Administration and Internal Security on a statement asked by Honorable Kakai Bissau, who is in the House, MP Kimilili.
Thank you, Honorable Speaker. The statement sought by Honorable Kakai Bissau was responded to by the Minister on Tuesday. And also the statement by Honorable Hussein Barre of Tarbaju were also responded to. And I believe they were responded to very effectively, and the honorable colleagues were satisfied about that. But I have two other statements which were not responded to. One by Honorable Amina Dika, the member for Tana River, and the second one by the honorable member for Nyeri, Honorable Rab Mukami. Maybe if the two members are in the House, I could respond to those two, Honorable Speaker.
The Honorable Kakai Bissau, is that the correct position?
Thank you, Mr. Speaker, sir. Yes, indeed, we met the CS, internal security, including the PS. They addressed the question, but what I would like to insist at this point, and what is very clear, as per my statement request, the frequent updating of the affected family needs to be adhered to. It needs to be done frequently, because as it is, even as of today, the affected family, the Bukhala family that lost their daughter, are not getting frequent updates. But the CS agreed that this will be done frequently. And at the same time also, there is the person of interest, Mr. Orwa, who went missing, and the CS has assured me and the family that they will continue pursuing this person until he's brought to book. So thank you, Mr. Speaker, sir.
Very well. The Honorable Raso, you may proceed to give the replies on the statement sought by the Honorable Amina Dika.
Thank you very much, Honorable Speaker. Honorable Speaker, the Member of Parliament for Tana River, Honorable Amina Dika, requested a statement on the disappearance of Abdullahi Ahmed Mohamed.
Is the Honorable Amina Dika?
Yes, she is in the House.
Very well. Proceed.
As requested for a statement on disappearance of Abdullahi Ahmed Mohamed, ID number 42848612, a resident of Ngumu Village, Tana River County. The honorable member sought steps taken to address the disappearance of Mr. Abdullahi, status of investigation on the disappearance of Mr. Abdullahi. I wish to respond as follows. Steps taken to address the disappearance of Mr. Abdullahi Ahmed Mohamed of ID number 42848612. Honorable Speaker, on 5th of October 2024, Mr. Ibrahim Ahmed reported the disappearance of his cousin, Mr. Abdullahi Ahmed Mohamed, at Garsem Police Station, void OB number 16 March 2024. He reported that he had earlier been abducted and dropped off at a petrol station within Garsen Shopping Center by abductors who were armed and traveling in a black Toyota Hilux double cabin bearing registration number KCU 576U. He further alleged that the same individuals followed and subsequently abducted his cousin, Mr. Abdullahi Ahmed Mohamed, a 73-year-old male. Honorable Speaker, an inquiry into the matter was immediately opened, and the inquiry file number 2/2024 and a statement recorded from relevant witnesses. The victim's mobile phone number was traced and found to have been switched off within Garsen town on the same day. The matter also was reported and the data shared with the National Transport and Safety Authority, requesting ownership details of the suspected vehicle to aid in the investigation. However, the NTSA has yet to furnish the details to the police. status of investigation of the disappearance. The matter is currently before the court with a habeas corpus petition number E0052025 was issued by the Malindi High Court. The investigating officer has filed a replying affidavit in response to the petition. Subsequently, the duplicate inquiry file has been forwarded to the office of the DPP, and as of now, the file has not been returned to the police for action. The case is pending before the court. Mr. Speaker, I beg to respond.
The Honorable Amina.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, I feel the response from the minister or the ministry is not satisfactory. And I also feel there is no seriousness because Mr. Abdullahi disappeared 6 months ago, that is October of 2024. What really surprised me is that getting the registration or getting the ownership of the car cannot take 6 months. So, Honorable Raso, I would also want to know when you expect to get the details of the registration from the NTSA, because 6 months is just too much. I also would like to know when is the file from the DPP expected to be back. Thank you very much, Mr. Speaker.
Honorable Raso.
Thank you very much, Honorable Speaker. Honorable Speaker, we have mulled over this issue of registration. And it happens people can operate with fake number plates or number plates individuals are going to fabricate on their own. That could be the difficulty with NTSA, but we also will not stop at that. We will demand for answers to what NTSA is doing and why the delay. The second part, which Honorable Member is seeking, I believe the DPP cannot be rushed or they cannot work under the direction of the Ministry of Interior. But we will indulge the ministry to be able to use their good offices so that the DPP can understand this matter. Thank you, Honorable Speaker.
Very well, but you know, these matters don't come here in vain. And therefore, maybe you should take a further undertaking on when you will actually bring that extra report to Honorable Amina on that progress, please.
Thank you, Honorable Speaker. I believe we are well guided on this. As also members, we don't take it for granted that honorable colleagues will ask questions and the responses are frivolous. I think we will go the full mile to establish what are the issues that are missing. Thank you, Honorable Speaker.
Thank you. You may proceed to also bring the replies to the statement sought by Honorable Rahab, MP Nyeri County.
Thank you very much, Honorable Speaker. Honorable Speaker, the member for Nyeri County, Honorable Rahab Mukami, has requested for a statement regarding the recent murder of a patient in Kenyatta National Hospital. The honorable member particularly sought to be informed on the status of investigation into the death of Gilbert Kinyua Muthoni, actions being taken to ensure the perpetrator of the crime is arrested and prosecuted, measures being put in place to intensify security of health facilities in the country. Honorable Speaker, Gilbert Kinyua Muthoni was killed on 7 February 2025 within Kenyatta National Hospital Neurology Patient Ward, Level 7B, Male Section, Group C, Cube 2. The incident was reported at Capitol Hill Police Station the Homicide Investigation Bureau, alongside the forensic team from the DCI laboratory, were called in to process the crime scene. The deceased was found to have sustained a deep cut on the throat, and the beddings were heavily soaked with blood. The cube contained 2 beds, meaning the victim shared the space with another patient. Blood droplets were observed on the floor, trailing from the deceased bed towards the adjacent patient bed. The suspected blood traces collected from the floor, Crocs, kitchen knife, and fingernails were swabbed for forensic analysis and submitted to the government chemist in Nairobi on 7 February 2025. CCTV footage from Ward 7B was retrieved for further review. Statements were recorded from key witnesses, nurses on duty, security personnel, a cleaner, and one of the patients in the same ward. On 27 February 2025, analysis results confirmed that the DNA profile generated from the blood stains in both the knife and floor swabs matched the DNA profile of the deceased. However, the fingernail clippings did not yield any foreign DNA profile, and the swabs from the Crocs contained only lightly stained human blood. After the investigation, the file will be forwarded to the Office of DPP for review and further direction. Action being taken. The investigations are ongoing, and when finalized, any persons found culpable will be arraigned before court. Measures being put in place to intensify security in healthcare facilities. Honorable Speaker, the following measures are being taken to enhance security in healthcare facilities. The health facilities are encouraged to formulate safety and security regulation for healthcare facilities. Installation of CCTV cameras and security scanners in healthcare facilities. Police have enhanced security in medical facilities, and DCI is fast-tracking the investigation in the killing of the late Gilbert Kinyua. Finally, the management staff and patient are urged to share critical information via Fichua Kwa DCI toll-free hotline 0800 722 203, guaranteeing confidentiality and safety of the reporter. Thank you, Honorable Speaker. I beg to respond.
Madam Rahab Mukami.
Thank you, Chair, and thank you, Honorable Speaker. I really appreciate the report. I can see so far so good. But Honorable Speaker, from the report you can see it's like they already know the culprit, the person who killed that person. Because they are talking about the knife, about the Crocs, and they could see even the movement. So I would urge Chair, kindly try and push the DCI and the investigators. They try and get hold of this person so that we can close that chapter. Otherwise, thank you so much for your report.
Chair, any other? Wait, maybe we take one or two more. Maybe there's some more interest. Mbui Robert, I see your name here. Do you want to weigh in on this? Anyway, I know, yes. Okay. Proceed now and...
Thank you very much, Honorable Speaker. Honorable Speaker, I want to thank Honorable Mukami for raising this particular statement. I think when you read through what the police have provided, and also that scene, a crime that is like in the James Hadley chase, that a fellow can go and kill a patient in a hospital ward and walk away without being noticed or without somebody picking that individual up. For that reason, she has also raised some issues that are fundamental, and we are going to push the ministry to be able to urge both the DPP and the DCI to hasten the process. Thank you very much, Honorable Speaker.
Madam Mukami, Do you have a follow-up question on this? Because I don't see interest.
Thank you, Honorable Speaker. I'm sure Chair is going to push them. Thank you so much.
Okay. Madam Mayaka. Mayaka.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. I just had a concern. A hospital like KNH, doesn't it have surveillance system or cameras? Because I wonder and still struggle to believe that somebody can just walk in a hospital and kill a patient and still walk out without being noticed.
That's okay. Madam Omanyo, you have... Where is the chair of the... chair. I don't see any further interest in this except that. So just respond to that.
Thank you very much, Honorable Speaker. Honorable colleague actually raises something fundamental, and that is what I said earlier on, that the top hospital in Kenya, because Kenyatta National Hospital is the top hospital in Kenya, that criminals can walk into a ward and kill a patient. Then one must ask, how safe are the other patients? Or how safe is a patient I'll take there? Could be your son, your wife, your brother, your mother. So for that reason, I think these are some of the fundamental issues that were addressed in actions that is expected for healthcare facilities, including things like CCTV, scanners, and also enhanced security in those facilities. So for that reason, I think we as a committee, we will pick up with the ministry from this point so that we can make visit to some of these facilities to find out firsthand for ourselves that actually the securities have been enhanced. Thank you, Honorable Speaker.
Fair enough. I presume this is a... Yes, Dr.
Yeah, thank you, Honorable Speaker. Honorable Speaker, as I listen to the Chair, Administration and National Security, this issue of a patient being attacked in a hospital, Honorable Speaker, I think even as you look at the security element, don't overlook the issue of conspiracy, Honorable Speaker. Because I do believe there could be conspiracy between the workers in the hospital and some of these crooks who are attacking the patients. Otherwise, if you just focus purely on security, the security guards, you might miss that element and then you find people continue suffering. Because I do believe strongly, when I listened to that case of Kenyatta, it was very scary, very, very scary. So also focus on the issue of what we call an insider arrangement. Thank you, Honorable Speaker.
My presumption is that when you talk about security, you're looking at the totality of all that. I mean, Chair, you have something to add to that?
Thank you very much, Honorable Speaker. Honorable Makali is an economist. He is not a security person. But from the security point of view, when you report a crime, you are actually the first suspect. And the police will start from you. And that is how security is enhanced or how issues are pursued. So for that reason, I think he raises a very important point.
Point of order.
I am also on a point of order.
He's responding to a point of order, yes.
Honorable Speaker, she will be on a point of order on something else, not this one, because I'm an expert on this particular one. Honorable Speaker, what Honorable Makali said, that when we reviewed this particular case, even looking at the statement and also with the DCI, we are almost of the opinion that there's no way somebody will come from outside to kill a patient if there are no insiders who know where the patient is, they are on which bed, they are occupying that space with which other person. So for that reason, I think the DCI is covering the ground in terms of investigation on the nurses on that day, the cleaners, and everybody who was involved in that ward on that day. So I think that particular point is important and it has been noted. Thank you, Honorable Speaker.
Yes, Honorable Mili Odhiambo.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, let me just correct the Honorable Chair that as a lawyer, I'm an expert in security by my legal training. So I am an expert on security, and security must follow the law. Mr. Speaker, that was not actually my point of order. I've just been listening to the responses, and I'm wondering why this matter. In a way, it's actually connected. Why this matter is before the Health Committee?
Because this thing has happened in a health facility.
Yeah, but that's a problem. This is a security issue. It's not about health. It's not about whether this person was being treated.
Yeah, but he's not the chair of health. He's the chair of national security.
Okay, thank you. I think because he was talking about the issue of health.
No.
If he's responding as security, that's okay.
Health comes in to the extent
that's okay. That's
the
okay.
collaboration. Yeah, collaboration. Yeah. Okay. I think we'll go to the next one. Lekuton, Honorable Lekuton.
Thank you.
Yes, the Honorable Chair for
Energy.
Honorable Speaker, just to be on record, Honorable Speaker, is that before the Committee on Energy, we don't have any statements pending. All the statements have already been prosecuted and responded to, because earlier there was a notion that we were not responding. This actually was requested last week on Thursday, and today, Thursday, a week after, we have a response. Thank you, Honorable Speaker. Honorable Speaker, just to give... Yes, from expert.
Excellent.
Thank you. Yeah, it is true. We really want to appreciate the work of the Cabinet Secretary on matters to do with parliamentary statements that are requested. Honorable Speaker, Honorable Lekuton, Member of Parliament from Leisamis, had requested a statement, and the following are the submissions as requested. Question number 1, a comprehensive report detailing the project implementation matrix for inception, from inception, accomplishment, key milestones, and the number of turbines KenGen intends to install. Honorable Speaker, the project is located within Longolayani and North Hall wards. KenGen carried out a comprehensive technical feasibility between 2020 and 2023 through the AFD as an interested financier. The site section was guided by several critical factors, including resource availability, minimum environmental impact, proximity to existing infrastructure, and robust community engagement. Phase 1 of the project will consist of 45 megawatt turbines totaling to 200 megawatt and a construction of 52.5 kilometer transmission line to the substation in Sirima. Phase 2 will have an 800 megawatt installed capacity. Below is a breakdown of activities already undertaken. Honorable Speaker, it's quite a lengthy, and I hope Honorable Lekuton has a copy. It's a table of activities already undertaken up to completion of the feasibility study that started on February 2019, where application for Marsabit County Government to develop wind power followed thereabout after almost up to now, March 2025, where we have the environmental impact assessment report that is going. And lastly, that is as at March 2025. And lastly is a free, prior, and information consultation and consent. That has taken since 2019 to date, and the process has been going on.
Secondly, the second question as the total acreage of land KenGen intends to use for the project, including buffer zone. Honorable Speaker, the Marsabit Wind Farm project will require approximately 49,800 hectares to accommodate the installation of wind turbine generators, supporting infrastructure and internal road networks. This includes 365 square kilometers in Longalani Ward and 56 square kilometers in North Hall Ward. The designated area accounts for the necessary buffer zone and transmission relief. 3, what was the action taken by KenGen to address the concerns raised during public participation as precedents to the project implementation? It is important to appreciate that KenGen has carried out extensive engagement with the community and other stakeholders. In a joint workshop held on the 21st and 22nd March 2025 in Isiolo, which included representatives from the 5 indigenous communities, Council of Elders, professionals, women, youth, and persons living with disability, it was agreed that certain issues raised will be addressed through technical studies, while other issues would be resolved during environmental and social impact assessment report that will be going. 4, a question as to assurance that the planned infrastructural developments stemming from the project, especially roads, will traverse Laisami's constituency. Honorable Speaker, the response to that is that the primary mandate of KenGen is power generation. However, the company will corroborate with the relevant government institutions to ensure that the project equipment is safely transported to the site. KenGen will continue to monitor the various efforts being made in the area on a road construction or modifications, and the final decisions will be taken at the project implementation stage based on the best route that will be more efficient, especially in considering wide load requiring a large clearance. Lastly, Honorable Speaker, the funding framework for the project. The response is, Honorable Speaker, the Marsabit Wind Farm project represents a total of investment is approximately 450 million euros, and transmission line by Development Finance Institution. At the present, KFW and AFD have been involved in the project since 2018 to 2024. KenGen will also be on leverage on government incentives or subsidies. The financing negotiations of the project have not yet begun. That is the response, Honorable Speaker. We have question number 6, modalities on how KenGen intends to implement the project prior to full acquisition of community land. And the response is that KenGen is waiting for the completion of the community land registration, as other preparatory studies such as ESIA, BADS and BATS survey, and FPIC continue. Therefore, the implementation of the project will only occur after the pending issues have been addressed. That is the response, Honorable Speaker, from Honorable CS Opio Wandai. Thank you.
Lekutson.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, while I thank my colleague, Chairman for Energy, for a good answer, I feel that he's left a lot of my questions unanswered. And Mr. Speaker, allow me to go one by one on the 6 questions that he just answered. Mr. Speaker, I find it very difficult to believe that 6 years down the road of feasibility study done.
Chairman, I hope you're taking note of all the questions that he intends to ask. Yes, proceed.
I find it hard to believe that 6 years down the road, after feasibility study is done, and even the road survey is done, Kenya is still not sure where the road will go through, Mr. Speaker. I feel and I smell a sinister move, Mr. Speaker, on this specific question. So it's not well answered, I need more clarification, Mr. Speaker, because any society that produces energy must be rewarded. And one of those rewards is infrastructure. And no society will develop without infrastructural activities going on in the soil. Mr. Speaker, sir, secondly, in one of his statements, I asked also, where will this headquarters be located of this Kenyan project? Because we know for sure that almost 90-something% of the project is in Laisami's constituency. Again, they are vague on that answer. Mr. Speaker, feasibility studies have been done for almost now 4 years. Yet, the information given to the public participants, including the local men and women who cannot read and write, including the professionals, including the, name it, anyone who lives with that area, is piecemeal. They are not given in full answers. They are given information that they're introducing any chapter that they want, they bring it on, and the ones they don't like, they leave it out. So feasibility studies must be well documented and well presented. The fourth one, Mr. Speaker, is KenGen should conduct public participation in its entity as far as the community living there are concerned. Mr. Speaker, we have the El Molos there, we have the Trukanas, we have the Rendiles, we have the Samburus, we have many tribes that live there. But KenGen has chosen to call each individual group to Isiolo to talk to them. This is a collective effort. This is a community land. All those people should be brought together with the professionals of that Laisami's constituency together, because each information, separate information is given to each group separately. So the community cannot really comprehend the entire issue on how KenGen will operate in their land. Mr. Speaker, on issue of commitment on the land registration, Mr. Speaker, there is no signed document by KenGen to show the community that they will do, no project will start until the community land registration is fully registered and fully understood by everyone. So, Mr. Speaker, that's another misstep that they have done, and we need that to be clarified. Mr. Speaker, they have not also answered on the number of turbines which will be located within the Laisami's constituency. By having the number of turbines, now that we know it's 200 megawatts being started, and we know each of those turbines will carry a number of megawatts, we need to know the number of megawatts that will be located within my constituency, or our constituency of those of Laisami's, so that we can know how much of our land is being used by KenGen to produce power. Mr. Speaker, I would like to indulge in you, please. This is a very serious issue that affects the people of northern Kenya, whose only chance sometimes is the resource of wind, especially in that part. They are not well engaged by KenGen. None of what they are giving is being taken into consideration. Mr. Speaker, I'm asking you and begging you that please let us have this Committee on Energy visit Loyangalani Mount Kulal area to look at that specific site that KenGen is going to put that power plant. That way, this parliament will understand what we are talking about. I thank you, Mr. Speaker.
Chair, I recollect that you had talked of 400-something thousand hectares. Is that the farm or that is the plant itself? Because maybe the grid or something like that, and you probably have to differentiate that, because the farm is, my presumption is that the farm is very big, but then of course all the power collects into a central place.
Correct, Honorable Speaker. I didn't get your question whether
The
it was 450 million euros.
No. The acreage. You didn't give acreage, yes.
Acreage, Honorable Speaker, is 49,800 hectares.
Now proceed
That
and
is what will be.
answer the issues that were
Thank you.
raised by-
Honorable Speaker, I appreciate the very keen listening of the person who had requested for this response, that is Honorable Lekuton. Honorable Speaker, yes, I agree with him. 6 years down the line is quite a long time. And Honorable Speaker, regarding where the roads will be passing, Honorable Speaker, in answer question number 4, the Kengen, through the minister, has responded by saying that they will be collaborating with the relevant government institution to ensure the project equipment is safely transported.
Order.
Okay, I agree.
Order. I notice that the honorable questioner is on a point of order, and I have a feeling the issue is raising because there's something you touched on. Proceed.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, the chairman keeps on referring government agencies. Mr. Speaker, what happened to communities who live in that land? Can they be the first point of contact? Can they be the first people to be asked what needs to be done in their land, Mr. Speaker?
Chairman, continue, but the feeling I get is that you're saying a collective government agency's approach, but proceed. We're trying to get this as clear as possible. It's a very important issue that needs to be clarified fully.
Honorable Speaker, I totally agree, and these are the issues that I'll be raising again with the ministry for clarification.
Okay.
But of course, as our standing Honorable Speaker,
yes.
I'm very limited in terms of unless I go back and be able to. But I totally agree with all the issues, the 6 issues which have been raised by Honorable Lekuton as to the location of the headquarters. It is not mentioned, and that as to full disclosure of public participation, I totally agree. They gave names of Council of Elders, some people that they met, but again, Lekuton is talking about the Turkanas and the other communities that are living there who are not mentioned, and they were never involved in the public participation. In terms of the land registration, Honorable Speaker, on that, and the answer to question number 6 is that they are saying Kengen is waiting for the completion of the community land registration. So that has not been done. Once it is done, that will be
And who's
brought.
supposed to do that?
Pardon?
Who's supposed to do that?
It is Kengen.
It is Kengen?
Yes.
Kengen is waiting for something that has to be done by Kengen.
Kengen is waiting for the completion of the land because it's a process. It is not the ministry. Under the
Kengen
ministry.
is waiting for the completion of the land registration by Kengen.
Not by Kengen.
By who?
By, I think, the Ministry of Lands and the people and the county government of Marsabit, I think. I want to believe that that is the process. But again, I will be checking this. I will be taking all this.
Honorable Rasso, who also comes from the same region, is on a point of order. Let's hear you, Honorable Rasso.
Thank you very much, Honorable Speaker. Honorable Speaker, listening to the chairman, with benefit, giving him the benefit of doubt, I think these answers are coming from the ministry. There's the famous Lake Turkana wind power that generates 360 kilowatts. Megawatts to the national grid. You know, the reason why the communities went to court is exactly on what Kengen is doing. Because there was total denial of participation of the community. And yet they had used almost land, almost 150,000 acres. Even in this particular one, the Honorable Joseph Lekuton sitting here, he has never been involved in this. And he's a member of parliament. He represents those people. If the member himself is not involved, who are these others who are being consulted, being contacted by Kengen? So for that reason, I think the honorable colleague is right. Let them go back let them sit with the member, let them sit with leadership of Marsabit, because eventually this is a natural resource. Although it will benefit the immediate host community, it will benefit the larger community of Marsabit. Thank you, Honorable Speaker.
Chairman, the chair clearly takes note of the limitations that you are placed in. Unfortunately, our current constitution and chairs now doing the work that used to be done in the previous constitution by ministers who were in the executive, or basically were both in the executive as well as the legislature. It puts you into a conveyor belt, basically being just a conveyor belt. But I think if we can get more what do you call answers sought by the members, then you could take down all those questions or other more questions raised by the members, and then we decide on another date, because clearly it doesn't seem to be up to the expectations and the standard of answers that this House is prepared for, in my opinion. Yes, Vanessa. Yes, Bissau, the Honorable Bissau.
Honorable Speaker, thank you very much for giving me this opportunity. I think the issue is across board. And when I look at the answers that are always given from the energy side, it's like quick fixes. You'll ask yourself a question like, we are blessed with half of the year with the sun, if not more. Why don't we think outside the box and ensure that we also utilize these natural resources and go solar? Secondly, we know power purchase agreement, PPAs. There's been a complete blockade on PPAs. If we sort of liberalize the market and allowed more players with better technology in this republic, we'll have more suppliers competing with the existing ones and ensuring that we're also getting the power supply at lower rates. So what I expect also from the Energy Committee and the Ministry is to think outside the box. Be ahead of, let's appreciate the natural resources we have. And two, in support with Honorable Ekuton, Marsabit, this is the host community. The host community must be part and parcel of originating the supply chain by involving the local leaders in the whole process. And that is how even the multinationals have succeeded, or they've failed. And their failure or success starts with respecting the host community. So in a nutshell, Chair Energy, let's think outside the box. Let's ensure that we have value for money, but at the same time also take advantage of the natural resources. We have sun. Let's get solar, more and more solar. We've got the sea. Let's get more and more wind and open up the market for more players. Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
The Honorable Dr.
Yeah, thank you, Honorable Speaker. Honorable Speaker, I do agree with you that most of the chairs are conveyor belt. So even as we blame them, we have also to bear with mind that they are not able to answer the question straight. But Honorable Speaker, I just want to confirm that the Chair Energy has been doing a good job. There's a question I raised, Honorable Speaker, almost for the last 1 year, and he got it sorted for the time he has been there in 2 weeks. So I want to congratulate him. But when I listened to that statement, Honorable Speaker, the cost of the project was also given in euros. And you know we are addressing Kenyans. I think even tell the PS, even they talk about euros, it's good to have in brackets how much it is in Kenya shillings, because Kenyans can relate to the Kenya shillings, not euros. That will help us.
That probably is because of the fact that our exchange rates keep on.
Yeah, but I'm sure somebody can always
keep on changing vis-a-vis the so-called convertible.
Honorable Speaker can always indicate somewhere is at this date of exchange rate of this particular, because Kenyans can, when you say 450 million euros, even those who are in this house, now if I ask you a quick question, Honorable Speaker, how much it is, you still start doing calculations. I think just in the brackets an estimated Kenya shilling so that it helps Kenyans appreciate the cost. Thank you, Honorable Speaker.
Because these are liabilities, these are debts, and the debts are supposed to be paid usually. Contracts are in convertible currencies. They're either in euros or in dollars, in our case mainly. So it doesn't matter how much the exchange rate is. That is what, at the end of the day, is our liability as a country. And yes, you have something to raise also. Honorable, proceed.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. I also want to support Honorable Lekuton because I believe that when such mega projects are brought up in a particular area, the members of parliament or the leaders of that area and the community at large should be involved so that they can also bring their views on the issues pertaining their community. So I believe that my brother chair for energy, that there are enough and competent people in the Ministry of Energy. So the next time I think we need to have the CS for energy here and the PS for energy because they are competent people so that we are able to ask them such questions and we are able to even answer, they are even able to answer us better because I believe they have better answers than what our chair is having. As also my brother has just said, on issues to do with power purchase agreements, I think we should open up the area so that we have competition. Because right now you have seized, there are no power purchase agreements going on in the country. I think we need to open up that space so that we have more players in that area and we'll get this energy at a cheaper rate. If there are people who are able to give us at a cheaper rate, it will be better for us. So I want to support Honorable Lekuton, and I also want to request that the Ministry of Energy should open up that space so that we open up for other players to be able to give out the power purchase agreements. Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
The Honorable Ado, MP for Wajir South. Yeah, just move to the next one. On your right hand side.
Thank you very much, Honorable Speaker. Honorable Speaker, public participation.
Honorable Lekuton, give an opportunity to the chair to hear what the MPs are raising the concerns so that he can take them down. Proceed.
Honorable Speaker, thank you so much. Public participation to government decision making is very vital in any democracy, and Kenya is not an exception. And we have to be very wary of projects like this one being carried out in the name of energy and the provision of services to the people, because I remember very well in the late 80s, in 1988, there was a company called Kenya Oil Service that ended up in northeastern Kenya, and particularly Garissa and Wajir in that region, and also in Marsabit. And claims exist, some of them very verifiable claims, that they buried toxic waste in that area, something that is exacerbating the prevalence of cancer cases in that part of the country. In the middle of last year, I brought, and that was June, I brought a question to this House, and the Speaker ruled on that matter, and the Committee on Environment was tasked with investigating that matter. The then chairman, my honorable colleague, who is now the chairman of Energy, is in the House and can prove what I'm saying. Up until now, that matter has not been concluded.
Although it's not the substantive matter that we're dealing with, but the former chair, I think, can, because of the collective responsibility of all the chairs and the majority and the leadership of the House itself, maybe you could raise up that with the person who has taken over from you to be able to bring that at an appropriate moment, because you were there initially. But right now, the issue is on.
Thank you.
On Marsabit.
Thank you, Speaker.
Now, Meli, you intended to raise something on the same. I thought I saw you putting your hand up.
Thank you, Mr.
What was
Speaker.
it for? Something else or this?
No. I'm just waiting for the non-us with disability. But on the same note, Honorable
You don't raise your hand for a matter that has not an order, that has not been, it's not on the floor of the House. So wait until this order itself.
Thank you.
What we're doing right now is, Chair, my suggestion is that you take all these concerns. Indeed, there's a wisdom why we have a community land, which is anchored in our constitution to protect that community. What the questioner is saying is that the community has got the requisite expertise to negotiate on these things, to sit down. Because when you want to do a project, the first thing you do is you negotiate with the land. I mean, what that project is going to be located. You don't say much later when you're already into the process itself that we are in the process of waiting for that kind of an agreement, or rather the registration of the piece of land itself. Because the community land, I'm sure there's a way you can deal with the community for the community, which is the lawful and rightful owners, to then allow this project to take place in their own birthright in terms of their own assets. And then, of course, you proceed on from there. So my suggestion is that, I don't know if the questioner agrees with, you go back, we'll give you ample time. I don't know how many weeks you need to be able to ask all these pertinent questions so that you don't get ambushed again with questions that you are not that well prepared. So is there anything else that you want to raise, Lekuton, because you have 6 questions here?
Honourable Speaker, I'm much obliged. I think I'll take your advice, and I think we have agreed with Honourable Lekuton.
Yes.
You know, sometimes the ministries do not understand some of these things. So as a committee, we have agreed. I will be requesting the Secretariat that we also make a visit as a committee to that place to understand exactly what they are saying, and even include listening to the people and what they are under public. Secondly, Honourable Speaker, I agree with my committee has the report on the moratorium on PPIs, the PPS. And there was a report that was brought before Parliament then, and then because of the time it lapsed. So we are reintroducing the report back to this House.
On the independent power producers?
Yes, for the Parliament to make a decision. The committee did come up with some critical, they raised a lot of critical issues on matters particularly to do with the cost per kilowatt hour of the independent power producers. Honourable Speaker, you cannot believe it. One area that we have an independent power producer charging 83 Kenya shillings. 83, not even
cents per unit.
No, 83 Kenya shillings per kilowatt hour. While GDC is, is it, yes, what do you call this, geothermal, the Kenje, is giving us at 4 cents. So these are some of the issues that we wanted to look into, and also as to whether this agreement should come before Parliament, before they are accepted to or signed by the ministry and the players, so that also Parliament can have a voice and say, we think this is too costly, maybe you can reduce it to this, and over and above so many issues that the committee raised, and we'll be tabling that report hopefully
I think for
once
the
we are back
benefit
from
of,
recess. Thank you.
for the benefit of Bissau, the chair is also conscious of the fact that most of those just a moment, you'll mention those independent power producers, many of them charge on capacity. I think you'll make that clear, because I'm sure you have even better information than I have, which means that you pay them for capacity, not for the power that they supply, not for supply. And that essentially is, in my opinion, one of the things that really has made this an extremely expensive thing. And I think when we had the retreat as members of Parliament in Naivasha, that matter came up. Why you can buy it for only 5 cents, or is it 5 shillings from Ethiopia? How much was it? Yeah, 0.5 cents, was it? Or was it 5 cents? 5 cents, 5 US cents, which translates almost into what, 5 shillings? Something like that per unit. And on the other hand, you're paying it for what, 80 something shillings. And to independent power producers, and I think this is an area that the House would want to really delve into it. And But okay, again, you can rise up and answer something that you wanted to raise. So under your watch, we think that you'll be able to do a very good job in this area.
Thank you. And you're right, Honorable Speaker. The independent power producers, they charge per capacity. Whether they supply power or not, we have to pay. And it's a conversation that Parliament will be having. And secondly, on matters to do with...
Is on a point of order. Honorable Mayor is on a point of order.
I think, Honorable Speaker, you've really raised a very pertinent issue. There is what we call deemed power, deemed produced power. And I sat in the committee of PIC one time, and when we were investigating these independent power producers, one of the issues that the Honorable Chair is raising, and I think this House has to look into more critically, is the money the taxpayer is paying to an independent power producer or under PPP on an idle generator, an idle investment that is gathering dust, and we are paying through our noses on what we call the deemed power. And I saw this under the Lake Turkana, we saw this under the idle geothermal power stations, which goes all the way to raise power bills in our homes, in our industries, and in our sectors. And therefore, making the cost of living and even the cost of producing goods very expensive and making Kenya very uncompetitive in this particular region as an investment destination. I think the Chair, Energy, has a lot to do, Honorable Speaker, so that if we really need to grow this economy, we start with energy, which is almost a basic need, and we must make sure that we make it affordable and accessible to all homes. I really want to support that particular discussion.
You have to understand, Chair, there's something called lifting the veil in law. Lifting the veil. Yes. I said way back when we were in Naivasha,